Welcome to the show. Woo! Guys, the amount of technical issues we've been having just to get on today. I don't even know what to say, but we're here. We're finally here. I hope you're doing well. I am Samuel I Can Win, the host of the Impact Show, and today we're going to be answering your property questions. Hope you guys are doing well. We are going to be opening the phone line soon. We've got a guest here today. Our guest is Facebook Live. So I hope Facebook Live's doing well as well on today's live stream. So guys, we are going to let you behind the scenes today as we're in the studio to just let you basically have a good look, a sneak peek into what we're doing in terms of property moving forward and helping other people as well. So I hope you guys are ready to go. What I want you guys to do for me just very quickly before we go into tonight's show is just write in the chat for me, ready to go. Let me see that in the chat, ready to go, ready to go, ready to go, ready to go, so I can get everything on so we can be ready to go and jump straight into tonight's show. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. It's been hectic. It's been hectic to get here and do tonight's show, especially because of the fact that we're live streaming to Facebook as well as to YouTube for the first time. So this is part of the reason why it seems as though we've had a few technical issues, but we want to ensure that we have a great show tonight. We want to ensure that we give you guys lots of value as we usually do, as we aim and intend to do. So as a direct result, guys, please bear with us. Be gracious with our technical issues tonight, and hopefully we'll be able to get everything sorted soon. I've got the team working on different stuff as we're going. So unfortunately, the Facebook world won't be able to see, the stuff that we might put on the screen throughout tonight's session. But one of the questions we did actually recently get was from Facebook. So because one of the questions we did get was from Facebook, this is part of the reason we wanted to bring the Facebook community inside of our Impact Show. Now, for those of you who are on Facebook who want to see this on YouTube, where you'll be able to see every single thing that we're talking about, you can go to www.impactproperties.co.uk/let's go live. If you go to impactproperties.co.uk/let's go live, you'll be able to see absolutely everything that we are doing tonight on the show. For those of you in the YouTube world who are with us again, I just want to say a great big thank you for being a part of our community, a great big thank you for getting involved, a great big thank you for doing what you do best, which is showing up and showing out. And I just want to say to you guys, mwah, lots of love, keep doing what you're doing. All right, now I've got in the Facebook community a ready to go comment, but I haven't yet seen that same comment in the YouTube community. So I need to know from the YouTube world, like, guys, are we ready to go? Are we ready to go? Let me know if we're ready to go. Let me know if we're ready to go. Yogesh, you've asked a question, which Facebook page? We, at the end of last week's show, which was episode 19, at the end of the show, I think one of the team wrote inside of the chat with the link, and secondarily, when this video finishes, you can go in the description of this video and you'll be able to get the full link, which will take you straight over to the Facebook group. So hopefully we are going to get moving forward into tonight's show. Thank you, Yogesh, for the ready to go comment. Thank you to all of the guys for the ready to go. I've got Ingrid over here on Facebook saying she's heading over there now. So Ingrid's coming over to YouTube whilst Yogesh is trying to get details about the Facebook group. Now the Facebook group is an amazing group that we've got over there. We've got over 400 members in the Facebook group and it's growing strong. So if you're interested in joining our Facebook community, all you need to do is, the moment this video is finished, jump into the description of this video. Every YouTube video in the world, every YouTube video ever made, whether it's long or short, has a description. Now again, whether the description is long or short, there is a description. So all you need to do is jump into that description and you will be able to basically get all of the details about what's happening on tonight's show. So let me say this, for those of you in the YouTube world, if you're wondering what this little furry thing is, this is our microphone for the Facebook world. Okay, so it's nothing untowards. This is all this is. It's the microphone for the Facebook device that we are streaming on. So if you want to connect with us on YouTube, like I said to you guys already, in the YouTube world, all you need to do is go to impactproperties.co.uk/let's go live. Let's go live. No apostrophe, no punctuation, just let's go live, and you will see every single thing that we're doing on the YouTube show, the Impact Show that we usually do and that we're doing tonight. So I've got Yogesh's comment here ready to go. I do believe everything on the show is already ready to go. We had a Facebook question that came in recently, which I'm going to be answering. And then straight after that Facebook question, what we're basically going to be doing is opening up the phone lines. Tonight's show is episode 20. All right, guys, I need some claps. I need some emojis. I need some fire in the chat. I need something. It's episode 20. That means for 20 weeks, we have been delivering value to the community. Guys, 20 weeks. Come on. I need something in the chat. Somebody give me some emojis, some love hearts, some claps, some something. For 20 weeks straight, we've been delivering value through means of this particular platform. And guys, we've been doing this for you guys. We've been doing it for you to help you move forward in your property journey. We're not doing this for ourselves. We're doing this to help people move forward. So what I want you guys to do is let me know if this is appreciated. Let me know if this is what you like. Let me know if this is what you want more of. Okay, guys, all you need to do is let me know by giving us something in the chat. Give us something in the chat. Give us a love heart, give us a kiss, give us something, give us something, so we know that you guys are appreciating what we are doing out here on the live stream through the Impact Show, week in, week out. Episode 20, guys. Like, how did we even get here? That's something I'm even thinking in my head. How did we even get here? How did we get to the 20th episode of the Impact Show, giving value again and again and again and again and again? I love it. Okay, I absolutely love it. Thank you. I got all these love hearts popping off on Facebook. Guys, let me say this. If you're on the Facebook world, you got to keep the emojis coming. All right, Sister Shalina, thank you for all those love hearts. The reason I'm saying if you're on the Facebook world, you got to keep the emojis coming is because when I'm looking at the main camera for tonight's show on the Impact Show here on YouTube, I might miss the emojis. So if they keep coming, like when I turn, I can see them. So thank you, Sister Shalina, for that. And like I said, to all of you guys on Facebook, if you want to join us on YouTube, so you can see everything that we're going to be sharing on the show, all you have to do is go to impactproperties.co.uk. That's impactproperties.co.uk/let's go live. The link should be in the group anyway, because we did share in the group earlier on that we were going to be giving all this insight. Now, let me know something, okay? For my YouTube world, let me know something really quickly. Let me know if you're ready to go. I've got one ready to go so far, and I'm sure Yogesh is not the only viewer tonight. So let me know, guys, if we're ready to go. Because if you're ready to go, we're going to go. We're going to get straight in to tonight's show. I'm loving the engagement on Facebook. Facebook are giving us love. We got love hearts on Facebook. We got comments coming through on Facebook. Let's go live. We're on YouTube, guys. We're on YouTube. Episode 20 is a 20th episode of our YouTube community growing. We've hit 250. I think we surpassed 250 subscribers last week. And guys, if you're on Facebook and you're coming over to YouTube, hit subscribe, become a part of what we're doing, all right? I've got Shalina here, she's saying ready to go. I've got Ingrid here, she's saying ready to go. I've got Yogesh here, he's saying ready to go. I need someone else on YouTube. Someone else in the YouTube world, let me know if you're ready to go. I'm gonna stall the show until someone else on the YouTube world lets me know that they're ready to go. I'm waiting for YouTube. Okay, guys, Facebook, you guys are ready to go. I've got love for the Facebook community. You guys are ready to go. I'm seeing love hearts. I'm seeing everything. I appreciate the Facebook world. All right, we got Jane on. Hi, Jane. I appreciate Facebook is popping off. YouTube, reciprocate. Okay, Facebook, you don't want Facebook to embarrass you, and we just moved the whole Impact Show to Facebook only. So we only do the show on Facebook. Come on, guys, don't let me down. YouTube world, let me get someone else right in the comments ready to go. And if you don't know how to write in the chat on YouTube, all you've got to do is press back, I believe, so the video goes small, and then you should have access to the live chat. We need you guys to communicate with us so we can ensure that we give you guys exactly what we need. It's episode 20. I'm pumped. Look, if you ain't realized it already, I'm sure you know, I'm pumped. I'm absolutely pumped. I'm thinking, like, how did we get to the 20th episode? What have we been doing? Week in, week out, offering value, answering questions. I've got Jane here. Welcome, Jane. Jane saying ready to go. So we got Facebook outshining YouTube, and this is a YouTube show. That doesn't even make sense to me. All right, that doesn't even make sense to me. Could the YouTube community, as they say, please stand up? Can we get someone in the YouTube community letting us know that they are ready to go? We got Yogesh. Yogesh has done that already. I want to see some other people tell me that they're ready to go. Because the moment you guys are ready to go, what we're going to do is we're going to open up the phone lines as we do. We're going to let the phone lines know that we're ready to go. And then we're going to allow you to phone in. So again, one more time, if you're in the Facebook world and you want to see everything we're doing tonight, you want to have access to the phone number and all of that, you should head over to www.impactproperties.co.uk/let's go live. Okay, let's go live is exactly where our YouTube show is, and if you join us on YouTube, you'll be able to see everything. You'll be able to see our telephone number, the access code. You'll be able to call in with any of your questions and get your questions answered. So guys, I hope you guys are ready to go. I'm ready to go. I hope you guys are ready to go. I am ready to go. Okay, now without further ado, I think it's that time. I think we should do it. I'm ready to do it. Are you guys ready to do it? Facebook, are you ready? YouTube, are you ready? I love this. Yogesh has thrown in a comment. He said, stand up. So because YouTube needs to stand up, Yogesh has said, stand up. I like it. I like it, Yogesh. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling the heart coming from Yogesh tonight, guys. I'm actually quite disappointed that there aren't more people on the YouTube world trying to support the energy that Yogesh is putting in right here, because Yogesh seems to be ready to go. Well, without further ado, I've got Shalina here on Facebook. She said, let's go. Here we go. Telephone line is open. We've opened up the telephone line. Call in with your questions. The access code is on the screen. Telephone number is on the screen. If you're with us on the YouTube world, you can call in. Telephone number is 0330-606-0403, and the access code is right there on the screen. Please make sure that you hit the like button. Please make sure you hit subscribe, and please make sure that you become a part of our community so we can move forward in property together. Now, I'm here, property strategist Samuel I Can Win. I'm going to make myself available throughout this whole show. Minimum of 60 minutes, minimum of an hour, answering your questions, helping you move forward in your property journey. This is episode 20. We have done 20 of these episodes. This is the 20th episode where we've come up, shown up to give value. And like Yoga said, we've been standing up, helping you guys move forward in your property journey. And we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it because that's what we do. All right. And I've got lots of love hearts coming through. Thank you ever so much, Sister Shalina. All the love back to you as well. It's great to see you on tonight. So guys, what are your questions? What are your questions? I think we should start with the Facebook question. I think so. I think that's only just right. I'm going to say the two reasons why. Okay. One of the reasons is because Facebook are clearly outperforming YouTube with the engagement right now. It is official. It's official. Don't stop them. Don't stop them. Yoga says, don't stop the shows. Listen, we're on episode 20. I don't know. You know, we started this, guys. For those of you who don't know, let me break it down. We started the Impact Show on YouTube for one reason. Because when the lockdown, the pandemic started, I had lots of coaching clients and other people that weren't coaching clients reaching out to me saying, oh, Samuel, how do I do this? How do I do that? What am I going to do if my tenants move out? If someone contracts COVID, blah, blah, blah. If they're self-isolating, if I can't get new tenants, all of this stuff we were hearing. And because I was hearing all of this stuff, people asking me all of these questions, I said to myself, how can I help as many people as possible? How can I give all of these people the answers, even if, for example, I'm not in a position to answer 100 phone calls, you know, back to back, which is what people were trying to get me to do. So we came up with this thing with the team. We said, look, let's go live. Let's actually just go live. Let's do the Impact Show. Let's go live on a week-to-week basis. Now, if you're on Facebook, I'm going to tell you a little hack. If you can't get the phone number or the access code because you're not over on YouTube and you don't want to go to YouTube, in the Facebook group, we got a post. That post is the property finance. Comment below, what questions do you have? So you can go to that post right now and write a question in it. And because we've got access to the Facebook feed, we'll answer those questions too. So if you've got questions, you want to get them answered around property finance, go over to that post in the group, in the Impact Investing group, and get your questions answered. Jane, can you tell me again how to find you on YouTube, please? The link, Jane, is www.impactproperties, impactproperties.co.uk/let's go live. Or if you want to find us another way, just look in the group. In the group, we've got a post. which I put out about an hour or two ago, which basically says we're gonna go live, we're gonna do the strategy in the storm, and it has the link there as well. So www.impactproperties.co.uk/let's go live. We got Yogesh here again. I just did that, but need to be accepted. Yogesh, that's cool. We've got a whole vigorous acceptance process, so it's not that easy. You can't just ask to be in the group and end up in the group. You have to get a passcode, you have to get an access code, but you will get the access code because I know you're a very diligent individual. Now, let's go straight into the questions that we got from this week on the group. So unfortunately, because of all the technical issues we were having earlier, we're not going to be able to show the question on the screen like we did in episode 19 last week. But what I will be able to do is read the question out to you. No problem. Sister Shalina, thank you ever so much for throwing the link in the chat on Facebook. And Jane, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you again, Sister Shalina. So here we go. The question we got on Facebook came from Chris Kwaku. And Chris said, is it possible to draw money out of a BRR? For those of you who do not know what BRR is, we've got a video on YouTube which is called Adding Value versus I can't even remember what the title is, but it's got adding value in the title. It's the only video with adding value in the title. Go find that video. That video is where I break down the BRR strategy. BRR stands for buy, refurbish, refinance. Buy, refurbish, refinance. Okay, so if you're interested in the BRR strategy and getting insights into that, all you need to do is go to our YouTube channel after this video, after this live stream, and go and find the video where it's called Adding Value. I'm gonna get you the title of the video right now because it shouldn't take me too long to do that, but that's what you need to go do. You need to go find that video where it's called Adding Value. That's it. Adding Value versus Restoring Value. That is exactly it. Adding Value versus Restoring Value is one of the videos on our YouTube channel, so go watch that video. If you go watch that video, it'll give you all the insights into the strategy of BRR and what it is and where the big mistakes are. Now, BRR, for those of you who do not know, stands for buy, refurbish, refinance. So that's a strategy where you buy a property, you refurbish the property, and then you refinance the property in order to pull out as much money as possible. Now, Chris's question, in my opinion, was a really, really good question. Chris asked the question here, just checking the volume, making sure that we're all good. Chris asked the questions here. He says, is it possible to draw money out of a BRR property on a serviced accommodation basis? Okay, I'm going to say that again, on a serviced accommodation basis. Okay, and this is the reason why Chris is asking this question, because it's an important question. If you are doing serviced accommodation, it's a particular type of strategy. And because it's a particular type of strategy, it ends up having a particular, certain particular ramifications. So for those of you who do not know what serviced accommodation is where you basically use a house or an apartment like a hotel. So people are doing short stays, and that's another name for it, short stays. Some people, weirdly enough, actually call the strategy Airbnb as well. But Airbnb is not a strategy. Airbnb is the name of a platform or a portal, a singular platform, a singular portal. So you shouldn't call the strategy Airbnb. It just doesn't make that much sense. But at the end of the day, anyway, if you're the kind of person who's looking to do buy, refurbish, refinance, and you're also looking to do service accommodation, Chris's question is, can you actually merge the two strategies together? Can you actually do buy, refurbish, refinance and pull out money if you are actively using the property as a service accommodation? Now, the blanket answer, okay, if you're one of those simple people, you want a yes or a no, the blanket answer is yes, okay? There is no reason why you cannot do serviced accommodation on a buy, refurbish, refinance property, okay? So the blanket answer is yes. Now, if you want the details, I haven't even read tonight's disclaimer. I need to do that as well, so I'll do that in a moment. If you want the detailed answer, okay, the more comprehensive answer, which is important, which I think is very, very valuable, okay? So I'm going to give you the comprehensive answer as well. And guys, I hope you're listening, because the proof is in the pudding, okay? It's the details which you need to listen to. The one thing you need to be mindful of, if you're going to use service accommodation, is the lender that you are borrowing your mortgage finance from. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, it's very simple what I mean. It's a very simple construct, but don't get caught out here, because this is where a lot of people do get caught out, and I don't want you guys to be the people that are getting caught out. People from our community, I want to be the people that know what they're doing. Not only do they know what they're doing, they keep themselves on the right path. Okay, so let me explain to you exactly how it works so you can make sure you don't make a mistake in this regard. Okay, now very simply, the way that it works is this: if you are working with a traditional lender, a traditional buy-to-let lender, a traditional buy-to-let lender will not give you a refinance to the degree that you're probably looking for if you're going to be using the house in a non-conventional way. Why? Because traditional lender is expecting a traditional approach in terms of the use of the property. Now, if you're going to use the property in a non-traditional way, i.e. serviced accommodation, then you need to make sure you're not generally using a traditional product. Because if you're using a traditional buy-to-let product, you're committing mortgage fraud. And I want that to be very, very clear. A lot of people in the property industry won't share this with you. They won't tell you the truth. They won't tell you that, look, mortgage fraud is when you tell a lender I'm doing A, but then you actually end up doing B, and you premeditated it. Okay, you premeditated it, and we want you to stay away from that. We don't want you to get caught in any of those traps. So that's the first thing I want to say to you as our community, whether you're on Facebook with us, whether you're on the YouTube show with us. I want you to be aware of that. Guys, do not be caught up committing mortgage fraud. We don't want that to happen to you. We don't want you to be one of those people. We want you guys to succeed. And because we want you to succeed in your property journey, that's why we've got to tell you this stuff, because this is the real stuff. This is the proof in the pudding stuff. This is the stuff you've got to be mindful of. Okay? So first things first, for everybody to be aware of, don't commit mortgage fraud. Don't be one of those people who are out there getting properties, saying you're going to use it for a buy-to-let purpose, and then ending up deciding to actually use it for something else. We don't want that happening. We don't want you to be one of those people, okay? So that's just a quick synopsis in that regard, all right? Just giving you guys a heads up in that regard. Don't get caught up in committing mortgage fraud. Now, to come back to Chris's question, and to give you guys a bit more insight as it pertains to Chris's question, if you're thinking about using service accommodation as a strategy, and you're also thinking whilst using service accommodation as a strategy, you want to be somebody who's in a position to take out as much of your initial investment as possible, it's really quite simple how you do that. And the way you do that is you have to make sure you buy right. Okay, now this is something people do not talk about enough, but guys, it is how it is supposed to work. If you buy right, you put yourself in the best position to be able to pull an enormous amount of funds out of your deal. Okay, so it's really about buying. I don't know if you've heard it before. Let me know in the chat, both of you guys on Facebook or you guys on YouTube. Let me know in the chat if you've ever heard the saying, the money is made when you buy. Okay, you make your money when you buy. There's so many different variants of that statement, but that is the statement that's been said in property for decades, for centuries. It's you make your money when you buy. So if you've heard that statement before, just let me know in the chat. Heard it before, Samuel, or heard it before, Samuel. If you're on Facebook with us instead of YouTube, let me know if you've heard that statement before. You make your money when you buy. So for people like Chris who've asked that question, again, it's a powerful question. It's an important question, but you have to understand the best way to ensure you're going to be able to successfully do a BRR project. The best way you're going to be able to ensure that you're going to successfully be able to pull out as much as you can when you do the refinancing is very simple. You have to make sure that you did the right deal from the beginning, that you bought right. Because if you buy right, then definitely you set yourself up to make more on the exit. So that's Chris's question. That's Chris's question. The answer is yes. You can do the BRR strategy, the buy, refurbish, refinance strategy, as well as serviced accommodation as a strategy in terms of a delivery or an offering to your tenant or your client base. However, the key to all of this, I've said it before, I'll say it again, okay? The key to all of this is getting the right lender. Okay, now if you need a mortgage broker, reach out to us. Let us know if you need a mortgage broker. We can connect you with a mortgage broker who understands what I'm talking about, so they can give you the best opportunity to succeed in that regard. So if you need a mortgage broker, email us info@impactproperties.co.uk and we'll make some recommendations for you you if you're happy for us to make recommendations. Now, like I said, I jumped straight into tonight's show. I didn't even read our disclaimer. I'm going to read our disclaimer and then we're going to get into the phone line. The phone line is open. For those of you on YouTube, you can see the phone line number right there at the bottom of the screen scrolling. Those of you who are on Facebook, unfortunately, you can't get that, but you can come and meet us on YouTube if you want. All you need to do is go to the link www.impactproperties.co.uk/let's go live, and you can see the phone number, the access code, etc. I'm going to read the phone number out now anyway because I want everybody to be aware of how to get through. But if you're one of those people on Facebook, you can't just call in with the phone number. You need the access code, and the access code is over here on YouTube. So if you want to come over to YouTube, hit like, hit subscribe, become a part of our community. So the phone number again is 0330-606-0403, and the access code is on the screen for anyone who wants to be a part of this live show, episode 20. We hit the big 2-0, episode 20, where we're giving value to the Facebook and YouTube community as a kind of present to us. Because we've hit 20 episodes, we thought that we'd actually share on Facebook as well as on YouTube. So well done for being a part of us, whether you're in the Facebook group or whether you're coming through the YouTube stream. So here goes, got the disclaimer ready, and then from there we're going to jump onto the phone lines for tonight's show. Now, here's the disclaimer. All the information provided and results given are exemplary, or they are results of other people. Each person's results may, unless stated otherwise, let me put it that way, each person's results may vary or differ. Results are based on consistent strategies, and we advise that you always seek legal and financial advice from a qualified professional. And if you're interested, we can also connect you with such qualified professionals to give you an insight. Now, on Facebook, if you're with us, give me some emojis, give me some fire, give me some hearts. Let me have some love. Let me know you're ready to jump into the phone lines. Unfortunately, on Facebook, you guys won't be able to hear our callers who are phoning in, but you will hear me, and I'll usually reiterate the question anyway. For those of you on YouTube, the phone lines are open. We've answered Chris's question. I don't think we've got any other questions to go in the Facebook group. We've answered Chris Kuriaku's question, or Kwaku's question. So now I think we are ready. I think we're ready to open the phone lines up. Cool. Yep. The team have said yep. So the phone lines are open. Headphones are going on. Let's see if we've got any callers yet. Okay. Phone line open. Let's see if we need anything here. Ready to go, ready to go, ready to go. Those of you on Facebook who are joining us on the live, we're over on YouTube. If you want to join us on YouTube, you can go to the link that Shalina's put in the chat, www.impactproperties.co.uk/let's go live. For those of you over here on YouTube, let me know in the chat if you're ready to go. Let me know in the comments if you're ready to go on YouTube. Go to the live chat and let me know if you are ready to go. Now, I'm jumping into the phone system right now. We've got 2 callers so far, 1 landline, 1 anonymous. Let me make sure that we're all ready to go here, because right now I can't hear anything through my headphones, and I should be able to. Okay, let's make sure that we're ready to go. And look, a great big thank you as well. Let me say this to everybody, whether you're on Facebook, whether on YouTube, a great big thank you to our YouTube community. We passed 250 subscribers last week, guys. That was a landmark for us, okay? And we're appreciative. We're appreciative of every single subscriber. Not all subscribers, every single subscriber. So if you've ever subscribed to our channel on YouTube, we appreciate you. We got love for you and we appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate you so much. All right, so guys, let's get this show on the road. Headphones are in place. Call should be picking up and we should be ready to go. So let's see who's the first caller for us tonight. Hopefully you should be able to hear the caller. Hello, good evening, caller number 1.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, we can hear you. Is that Yogesh?
Yeah.
Excellent. Hi, Yogesh. The great thing is you're not even coming through the headphones, so I can actually hear you from my monitor. So how are you doing? And actually, the Facebook world should actually be able to hear you right now as well. So this is even better. So the team have done the tech even better than I could have expected. Yogesh, first and foremost, before we jump in, are you happy for me to share with the YouTube world what you are or what I'm going to be sharing with you as my insights, and side by side with that, any comments that you have for the world in terms of how we can help you as well. Are you happy for us to do that?
Yes.
Excellent. Absolutely brilliant. So Yogesh, take it away. How can we help you?
Okay. So, firstly, this Facebook passcode is a nightmare to find, but
We'll listen, Yogesh. The team are on standby to help you. Do not worry. You will get the support. You'll get the help. The only thing is, because we were growing at such a fast rate, the team put some things in place to make sure that people joining are people that are the right people. So all you need to do is very simple. I think it's a 3-step process. First step is you just decide whether you're a spammer or not. Straight after that, the second process, you take the link that is there, you throw it into a tab on your computer, and then the third process is it gives you a code. You take the code from Messenger and throw it in, and you're in the group. It's simple, but I wouldn't advise you to. I know you're a meticulous guy, but I wouldn't advise you to do that whilst you're also on the live. So let's go through the live questions and let's push forward.
I'll figure that out later. Thanks. It's about somebody owes me money.
Okay, let's go. I love questions where it pertains to money and finance. So let's go.
Yeah. So someone owes me 25,000.
Okay.
You probably know who I'm talking about because we've talked about it before. But
that's cool, but please don't say any names on the show. I'd prefer not to name and shame anyone on my show. But you can name and shame them on Facebook if you want it, if you're that kind of guy. But on the live show, let's leave the names out. It's all about the strategy, more importantly. But go for it. So someone that I potentially know and you know has basically borrowed £25,000 from you. They currently owe you money, so I assume that means that whatever loan agreement you had, the time is expired. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It's been all nice and friendly and understanding, but it's been 2 years now.
Wow.
So.
What? 2 years?
2 years, yeah. 2 years. I'm usually quite a friendly, understanding guy, but now I think they're taking me for a ride.
I think so. If it's 2 years, that's a long time.
Yeah. So I want to know. We have signed a loan agreement. I've got his ID, so I know I can potentially take it to court if I need to.
Yeah.
And actually probably going to just pay solicitors to take care of the rest. I think written off the money. I don't believe I'll ever get the money back from him.
Okay.
This is my mindset right now.
Okay.
The couple, it's kind of like I feel like I know he's done this to other people.
Oh wow.
And I feel like he may. So one reason for going all legal is maybe it will prevent him from doing it to other people.
Yeah.
So, but obviously I'd like to try and get my money back. So other than paying the solicitors a lot of money do you have any other tips, or should I still try and communicate with the guy and should compromise something out, or I don't know, not quite sure what to do.
All right, this is a great question. For those of you on Facebook, you might not have heard Yogesh's question. I know it's playing through the monitor speaker, so you should be able to hear it. But just in case you can't hear it, because I know that this microphone's a directional microphone. So I'm just going to reiterate your scenario and your question, Yogesh, and then I'm going to give you what I would see as the strategy to go forward on this, okay? Is that cool, yeah? All right, so for those of you on Facebook, those of you on YouTube, if you can't hear Yogesh has basically said he's in a bit of a tricky situation. He said that 2 years ago, longer than 2 years ago, he borrowed somebody £25,000 or something like that, and basically after borrowing them the money, the expiration of that loan has expired. So they've come to the date where Yogesh should have been paid the £25,000 back. He said he hasn't been paid that £25,000 back, and now it's been 2 years since he was supposed to have been paid this £25,000 back. And he's basically said at the end of this, look, what would you advise me to do? The option that Yogesh is currently thinking about is basically taking the person to court, okay? And obviously paying legal fees, etc. in order to get his money back. Now, one of the things I don't play with is when I borrow people's money. Now, I borrow people's money. I've got a lot of people that have invested in my projects, and every single one of them, I believe, to date, will give me a positive, productive testimonial of when I've lent money from them. So I guess in a way, I'm kind of saying, Yogesh, you should have come and knocked on my door if you had a spare 25k around. But this is not something we're going to take lightly, because it's not a joke. It is something quite serious. But I also want to say this as well, both to you guys on the Facebook world and those to use on the YouTube live. I want to really say this because you might not hear investors say stuff like this, but I want to say this because I want you to understand this is the truth. This happens a lot more often than you might believe. Okay, there are a load of I've got personal contacts. I know, obviously Yogesh. I know Yogesh personally as well, but I know people a lot. There's a lot of people I know even closer than I know Yogesh, who are people who have borrowed money to investors and not got their money back. Okay, there's currently even a thread on Facebook going around about people borrowing money and not paying it back. All right, so guys, I want to say this to you. Don't think it will never happen to me. I want to say that. Make sure when you do invest, for those of you who haven't invested yet, I'm just throwing this out there before I go into sharing what I would see as a viable strategy for Yogesh. I just want people to be armed, if that makes sense. But make sure when you do invest, you're investing with people who have similar values to you. People that it's not going to become drama, even if there was a predicament of complication or a predicament of drama. And I hope that makes sense. Let me ask you, because you're on the call, Yogesh, does that, what I just shared, make sense to you, for example?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I was around the property sector,
yeah.
So therefore I thought, well,
no, I get it. I totally get it, Yogesh. I get. Let me put it this way: people make mistakes, and I'm not saying what I'm saying to point the finger at you or to make you feel like, oh, you made a mistake, you should have done it this way. No, that's not what this is. I'm just asking you if it's clear, because obviously the Facebook world and YouTube world, they can't necessarily respond to that. But as long as that's clear for you, obviously that will help you hopefully going forward anyway. But in terms of your actual question, what do you do now? What do you do in this current predicament? £25,000 out. Like you said, psychologically, you've kind of written it off. To you, you're not going to get the money back. This is what I would consider doing. I'd consider doing something which is a little bit different to go into court first, okay? And also the reason I do this is because it will probably cost me a little bit less. But I'd consider looking at mediation as a particular opportunity to kind of come to a win-win solution with this person, even though there is kind of really not really a win in the fact that we're 2 years out, if that makes sense. But I'd look at mediation. Now, mediation is another thing which a lot of people do not necessarily look at. They don't think about, they don't perceive mediation can help them. But the power of mediation, okay, the power of mediation, just to give you an idea, is where you've got two parties who for some reason haven't come to a place where they can necessarily agree on something. Now, I'm going to give a little bit of a plug as well. So guys, you can go on YouTube, you can go on Facebook, go find one of my contacts. Her name is Selena Morgan Gale. Selena Morgan Gale. Okay, Selena Morgan, MORGAN hyphen Gale, dash Gale. Now, Selena is a award-winning mediator. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why I'm talking about Selena in this regard. So if you're looking for a mediator, because it's all fair and well me saying, oh, you should consider mediation and then running away, but it's more helpful if I can give you someone you can go and talk to about the scenario, so you can start to find out, will mediation be appropriate for you? Will it work for you? Can you use it in your predicament, etc.? Now, just to give you guys insight, what mediation basically is you saying, look, we've got two parties and we haven't been able to agree on something. Because we haven't been able to agree on something, can we get a third party in who can give us basically a few sessions or a session or two where they can basically speak to us, get beneath the surface of what's going on in order to come to a place of resolution? And that's the key for mediation. Mediation's heart is to produce resolution. Now, I get what you're saying, Yogesh. You've written off that £25,000. I get it. But the point is, if you've definitely written it off, you've definitely said to yourself, you're never getting that money back, I would say that's definitely the predicament, rather than first going down the court route. And I'm not saying going down the court route isn't a viable route, but maybe consider going through mediation. So what I would do if I was in your predicament, and you've mentioned that your relationship with the person is still kind of productive or positive, it hasn't become sour, I'd reach out to that person and I'd say, look, hey, Mr., late payment, what I'd like you to do is consider going through mediation with me around the debt of the £25,000 that you currently still owe me, because it's been 2 years now, and if I want to be really transparent with you, I'm in the process of considering going to court and taking this into the legal ramifications. Now, in order for us to prevent that, I would consider first going through mediation with you if you think it's appropriate. So again, one thing I will say again, just for it to be clear, mediation is not a one-sided show. So what I mean by that is, if Yogesh wants to go to mediation, but the particular individual who's late to pay back the 25,000 doesn't want to go to mediation, you can't go to mediation. Mediation is not about, oh, I'm taking you there to sort you out. It's not like that. It's not like court at all. The way mediation works is it allows two parties who have maybe two differing views to come together and come to a resolution. So that person might have a different view. They might have the view that, well, I know I'm 2 years late, but I don't owe you the interest for 2 years, for example. You might have a view of, look, I know you're 2 years late and you should pay me the interest for the last 2 years. And mediation seeks to sit in the middle and help you guys come to a conclusion which is amicable for both of you. So I would say to you, if I was in your predicament, before thinking of going straight down to the legal side and suing somebody or holding them, for their assets, etc., I'd first offer them, and that's the key, I'd offer them the opportunity to go through mediation. Now, if they choose to not want to go through mediation, then by all means, you have no other choice. And I'm going to be very, very transparent about that. You might say to them, look, if we're not going to go, I wouldn't say it in the first instance, but the point is, your resolution might be, well, if we're not going to go through mediation, that means we're going to be back in the same position we've been in. And for the last 2 years, the position you've been in is no money, and I assume no real communication around when you're going to get your money. These are my assumptions. So if that has been the predicament, the only way to change that is to do something different. And, probably every person watching this has heard the saying, if you do what you've always done, you will get what you've always got. So the reality is, if you go, the next 2 years, as you have gone the last 2 years, you are not going to get your money back. So the reality is, you need to do something different. So my encouragement to you, Yogesh, is to offer mediation. Usually that might be of help or service to the individual, especially if you don't really want to go down the court route. And then secondarily, if mediation doesn't work, if you both don't agree to do mediation, or you go through mediation and it's not as successful as you planned, then look at the court route. But hopefully that helps you, Yogesh.
Yeah, that's a bit different. I have booked in a call with the person you recommended already. Okay.
Excellent. All right, so Selena, I don't know if you're on the live show, but you got Yogesh coming to you as a potential client. So hopefully that will help you, Yogesh, move forward in terms of making that decision. And yes, it is a bit different, but most people that speak to me, that's one of the values they get. The fact that I don't think how everyone else thinks. I do things in a little bit of a different way. And so far, it's been doing wonders for me. So guys, let me just throw this out there before I let Yogesh go. If you're watching this and you're getting value, if you're getting any value whatsoever, hit the like button, okay? It means nothing to you to hit the like button except for a press of a button. Same on the Facebook world. Hit like, press the thumbs up, press share this video with people outside of the group. Let people know that there's value here on the Impact Show being shared through Facebook, being shared through YouTube. Now, the reason I want you to hit the like button is very, very simple. YouTube tells the world this is some good live content if people who are watching the content says this is some good live content. And the only way you can say this is some good live content is by hitting the like button. So hit the like button, press share, feel free to become a subscriber if you haven't already, and let's grow the YouTube community. We hit 250 subscribers last week. I want to hit 1,000, guys. I want to hit 1,000, then 10,000, then 100,000. I want to grow this YouTube community so more people can understand what we're sharing in terms of property. Property is simple. I'd never say it's easy. It's simple, okay? But the problem is we don't learn it in school. And I know that because I used to be an educator. So this is why I come out of my way to make sure I share value with you guys. If you're enjoying this, let's know. Show me some fire. Show me some emojis. Let me get the love in the chat. So Yogesh, has that been helpful for you? And do you think that's going to be something that potentially could solve the problem?
I'll definitely give it a go.
Excellent.
I'm not optimistic, so I'll come back to you if it doesn't work, if that's okay.
Cool. That's absolutely perfect, and we look forward to seeing you when you come back as well, or hearing you if it's on the live show as well. So Yogesh, always great to have you on the line, and always great to have your questions. You've always got great questions as well. Did you have any other questions for tonight's show?
I I do actually.
Okay.
Only if you have time.
No, go for it. Go for it. Let's go for the next question. So Yogesh has got another question. Let's go for that.
Okay. It's about FCA regulations.
Yep.
Because I've been learning the skill of borrowing money myself.
Yep.
And something that's called collective schemes or something.
Yep.
And so I'm getting, are you and what you not have to do is what I'm trying to work out. But specifically, I think if you have two or more people who are borrowing money off for the same project, there's some rules around that, and that's what I'm not clear on. Does that make sense? So the collective scheme, I think it's called. Now you may not know the answer to this, but if you don't, you can maybe go in the right place. But how do I find out if I'm not doing anything illegal by asking to borrow money for a project?
Excellent. All right. So great question. Very, very great question. So guys, for those of you, if you haven't heard Yogesh's question, Yogesh said that he's interested in potentially producing what we call a collective scheme, or what is legally called a collective scheme. A collective scheme is when a group of people put their money together in order to do something. Usually it's when one person takes a group of people's money together in order to do a project or a property endeavor. Now, the reason this is important in multiple ways, but basically Yogesh said he's been looking at the FCO, he's been looking at the regulation to find out what is the right thing to do, what's not the right thing to do, and he's not very clear on all of the ramifications. So I do not know all the answers, and I'm going to say that very clearly. In terms of collective schemes, it's not something that I specialize in. So I'm going to give you two directions, because Yogesh, you did mention if I don't know, at least I can give you some direction. The two things I'm going to advise you to do: first one is speak to a specialist mortgage broker or wealth manager. Mortgage broker or wealth manager. And I can also direct you in the direction of a good wealth manager who would hopefully be able to help you with this. And that's on LinkedIn. You'd have to go to LinkedIn because this gentleman doesn't have a Facebook account. But if you go to LinkedIn, you'll be able to find Mr. David Lee. Okay, David Lee. David Lee works for SJP, which is St. James's Place. He has his own practice out of St. James's Place, and he'll be able to help you with collective schemes. And the reason I know that is because this is one of the topics I've recently been speaking with David about. So David Lee, working for SJP, which is St. James's Place Wealth Management. He's a wealth manager who will be able to help you in terms of that side. Now that's one side of it, okay? That's one side of it. It's not the whole side. It's just one side. Now, just so you get the right David Lee, because I assume that's a common name, if you search for David Lee on LinkedIn, he's got his arms kind of folded in a nice little way. So if you've got any trouble connecting with David, just reach out to me, through Facebook, through the comments, through the chat, through our email, info@impactproperties.co.uk, and I can get you connected with David that way. So David Lee, who works out of SJP, he's got his own wealth management practice. David will be able to help you. David Lee, LinkedIn, David Lee, LinkedIn, David Lee on LinkedIn. He works for St. James's Place, which is one of the main wealth management practices in the UK. So that's the first thing, okay? Collective schemes. First thing is, look from the wealth perspective, i.e. the money perspective. What are the ramifications, positive and negative? The second thing, besides the mortgage broker or the wealth manager that you're going to speak to, is to get a legal professional to give you insight about this. Okay, so when I say a legal professional, I'm talking about someone who specializes in property law, because the people who specialize in property law are probably going to be the best people to discuss this with you. Now, the reason I know this is because recently I've been looking into something very similar. It's not exactly a collective pooled scheme in terms of funds, but it's just looking at a little bit more of a creative way that we can continue to leverage people's funds moving forward in our property journey. So again, I don't have all the answers, but those will be the two things I would advise you to do, Yogesh. Seek the legal advice and then seek a wealth or a mortgage broker's advice through means of connecting with one of those. And again, the recommendation for the wealth manager is David Lee, only because myself and David have been speaking about similar things recently. So to give you a little bit of an insight in terms of one of the things myself and David have been speaking about, he's recently shared with me that there's been recent legislation change where now you can have a company with multiple directors. And when we say multiple directors, we're not talking about the conventional 2, 3, 4, 5 directors. We're talking about in the region of 20, 25 directors. So this is something that's in the pipeline in terms of framework that's changing. So it's not exactly the same as what you're talking about in terms of a collective scheme, but it's very similar in the sense that, you know, that might be a structure that you choose to use instead of taking 25 people's money into your one company, but actually making 25 people share directors, maybe some with class A, class B, class C, different shares. For those of you who don't know the difference in terms of class A and other class shares, some shares are shares where you actually have a say in a boardroom meeting. Some shares are shares where you just have ownership or part privy to the company. So again, you know, all of this stuff, speak to a wealth manager, David Lee, via LinkedIn. He'll be a great port of call in order to do that. And then secondarily, look at someone who can help you from the legal side also. Does that help, Yogesh?
Yeah, I found him. He's got like a line background.
Yes, yeah, I think it's like a statue of a lion. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. So yeah,
I'll message him.
Excellent. You've definitely got him. Go for it, Yogesh.
I'll talk to him.
Excellent.
Have you got another caller? I've got a quick question.
I'm gonna check because I haven't checked whether we had another caller coming in yet. I know we had another one a moment ago. No, it looks like the other caller dropped off. So now you're gonna get your third question in. Go for it, Yogesh.
I like it. You know, I could talk to you all day. Planning consultants. That's my third question. So, how do I find a great, or maybe you know a great planning consultant, not an architect, but someone who knows the planning rules or
excellent
or tips and how to one. I've done the thing where you scroll through your planning commissions, your council, and see what they've done. You know, the things you want. Tried that. Hit and miss, I found. But I know it's a good way to try and find. It
is hit and miss. That approach is an approach I usually give to people. So it's great that you've done that already, and I really appreciate that. So guys, for those of you who just wanted to hear, Yogesh basically asked the question, how does he find a good planning consultant? Specifically, he's asking me if I have any recommendations, and he said that because he's done something that I usually recommend to people to do in the first instance anyway. So one of the things I recommend people to do, and I'm just going to reiterate this for the people that are viewing Yogesh, one of the things I usually advise people to do if they're looking for planning consultants, etc., is for them to go through the planning portal. Now the planning portal is a free government website, or it is still free, but it was a government website. I think now the planning portal has actually been bought. But basically what you can do is you can go on the planning portal, you can find projects that are actually being given granted planning in your area, and the moment you find them, each and every one of those plans will have an architect or a planning consultant associated in the documentation. Going through that approach or using that methodology, you should be able to find a good planning consultant who can work with you. So that's one of the ways I usually do advise people to find planning consultants if they're looking for planning consultants or if they want to find a really good architect. So Yogesh, again, well done for having done that already. So this is what I'd say to you, Yogesh. In terms of a planning consultant, I'd say it would be better if we connect offline instead of on the YouTube for me to give you a recommendation specifically. The only reason I'm going to say that is not because I want to steal the thunder from Facebook or steal the thunder from YouTube. It's not because I don't want to give you that value. It's actually because obviously the type of project will determine, in my opinion, the best planning consultant that you want to go down that route for. So if you are looking for a planning consultant and you're interested in finding our recommendations, it's always best you reach out to us. So you can do that by emailing us at info@impactproperties.co.uk, and then just let the team know I spoke to Samuel on the live show, or I heard Samuel on the live show say if we're looking for a planning consultant, we should reach out. And then from there, we'll either arrange a booked call, whether it's a coaching call, strategy call, or just one of the property inquiries, in order for us to give you the best recommendation for where you're at right now. So I'm always happy to give recommendations. Everybody knows that. People I've worked with or people that I trust, I will always pass them on to you. However, it's always best for me to do that based on the best predicament and circumstances, and not just do it willy-nilly for the sake of doing it. So in that regard, Yogesh, definitely shoot us an email. I know you've done that in the past, so shoot us an email and we'll basically get someone on that and then have that conversation, find out exactly what your needs are, and then pass that on. Does that sound like it will be helpful? Yeah,
perfect. I'll do that.
Excellent, brilliant. So as I said a moment ago, Yogesh, always great to have you on, always great to hear your questions. You've always got really good questions for both the show and also for me, keeping me on my toes. So I appreciate that, and I look forward to catching up with you when we do see each other next. Okay,
thank you very much.
Most welcome, Yogesh. Thank you. Thanks for being on the show. All right, guys, so look, if you got value, if you've got value from Yogesh's questions, from our answers, from the solutions, let us know. Guys, if you want to call in, if you've got a question and you're watching on YouTube and you want to call in now, because in a few minutes, you're not going to have that opportunity. The phone line is still open for a short while. If you need the number, it's back on the screen right now, and that number is, when I can see it, I'll share it with you. But for those of you who are on Facebook, you need to join us on YouTube to get the access code in order for you to call in, because when you call in, you will be asked for the access code. Again, the number is 0330-606-0403. Feel free to call in and get the access code. You have to be on YouTube to see the access code to call in so that we can help you in that regard. Now, hopefully, if we don't get another caller, you know, we'll be able to wrap up still. I'm not really going to fret about that. I've got no qualms if we don't get another caller. But what I am going to do is, because it's episode, okay, Yogesh has written in the chat. Let me share that. Yogesh has written in the chat, great answers. I love the advice. Most welcome. Most welcome. I don't know if we can call this advice, but like I said, you know, the purpose of the show is just to strategize with those people that jump on the show. And look, guys, this is episode 20. You know, I was saying at the beginning of the show, how did we even get here to the 20th episode of the Impact Show? Giving value, helping people move forward in their property journey. Okay, Yogesh has written here, he highly encourages you to call in. So much value. Guys, look, this is free. Okay, this is free. When do you get an hour of a property strategist giving you value, answering your questions? Guys, this is free. Yogesh actually said earlier something which was quite interesting. He said, make sure you don't end this. Don't stop them. That's what he said. Don't stop them. Don't stop running these shows. Now, look, this is what I want to do. I want to give you guys massive value. And because it's episode 20, because we've hit the 20th episode, for those of you on YouTube, I'm actually going to share the link also for those who are on Facebook. I'm giving you guys an absolutely free gift. I want you guys to go and grab the audiobook, absolutely free. You're going to get a 30-day free trial with Audible, and on that 30-day free trial with Audible, you get this book absolutely free if you go through this link. And if you decide to cancel that 30-day trial, you don't want to keep the Audible subscription, you don't want to pay whatever Audible charge, which is less than £10 for you to have an audiobook every single month, which as a minimum is great for you to move forward in your life through means of personal development, property, etc. It doesn't matter, but go and get the new book, How to Win, okay, written by Mark Cuban. He is a business mogul, okay, owner of the Mavericks. He's a business mogul, and you can go to this link, www.impactproperties.co.uk/how to win, impactproperties.co.uk/how to win. If you go to that link, you will get that audiobook absolutely free, okay, no questions asked. You get a free subscription to Audible also, and if you cancel within the 30-day period, you pay absolutely nothing and you still keep the audiobook. I want to encourage you to go get that audiobook. We're giving that to you as a gift. Why? Because we're on episode 20. Why? Because last week's show, we hit 250 YouTube subscribers. And like I said, we're on the road to 1,000. We're going to hit that number. Yes, it's 4 times where we're at, but it doesn't matter. We can do it with the community because you guys have shown us so much love by hitting that subscribe button, by hitting that like button, by hitting that bell notification so you can be up to date every single time we go live. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you for being with us on this journey, and this is why we do this, and we're going to keep on doing it because of how much we appreciate you. So guys, take full advantage of the resource, www.impactproperties.co.uk/how to win, /how to win. Now, we got no callers who've called in, so without further ado, we are going to let you know about 2 simple things that you can use to move forward in your property journey. First thing is the Sourcing Blueprint ebook. Go to this link, www.sourcingblueprint.com. You got me, guys. You got me flustered because I'm on multiple screens right now. www.sourcingblueprint.com. Go get the free ebook which we wrote in order to help you understand how to start to find great property deals. If you want to know how to find great property deals, this is the ebook for you, www.sourcingblueprint.com. But side by side with that, go and register for our next webinar. Our next webinar is taking place on Monday, www.impactproperties.co.uk/webinar, www.impactproperties.co.uk/webinar. go and jump on that webinar and take full advantage of the value we're going to be sharing there. Now, if all of that value given tonight, if you got value, all I need to see in the chat is value, value, value. Let me know. YouTube, Facebook, let me know. If you got value on tonight's show, write the word value in the chat. Let me get some love hearts. Let me get some fire emojis. Let me get some value in the chat so I know that you guys got value. And without further ado, guys, it's been a great pleasure. I'm Samuel I Can Win. I'm signing out. It's been a great impact show. Those of you on YouTube who've joined us, you know what to do. Hit subscribe, hit like, make sure you hit the bell notification, and we'll be back with you on the next one. See you, and I'm out.